Hi, this is Bill Eddy.
Hi, Bill. This is Errol Collins. How are you doing today, sir?
Pretty good. Good to meet you.
Nice meeting you. It's a blessing to talk with you because you really do bring up a subject in your new book that really deals with the modern world. But this is nothing new, is it?
Well, it's new on the scale it's on. I think it's always been there, but bullies have always been kind of on the fringe, and now they're at center stage. We see them every day.
We always hear about the cyberbullying, and we always hear about bullying between kids, but I guess I've never looked at what adults do to themselves as well.
Yeah, it's happening more and more, and people are mostly caught off guard by it. They're really unprepared, so they tolerate the bullying, and that reinforces it, and it grows. So it's a spiral that's kind of becoming a problem that we're starting to notice.
Is it one of those things where we just say, he's just a bad boss. Oh, she just doesn't like guys. I mean, is it one of those, but is it real authentic bullying when we bump into people that just don't respect us?
Yeah, I think the line to me is when they make it personal.
Yeah.
And so when they start talking about your appearance, your looks, your intelligence, your morals, your sanity, all that stuff, that's bullying. And you can feel it in your gut. And you go, whoa, this isn't just a bad boss that's not good at their job. This is somebody out to try to dominate or destroy me.
Well, being in the entertainment industry, oh my God, I had some program directors that were really kind of. I always wanted to say that they were bullies, but I didn't want to bring it up because HR really isn't in support of the employee. It's about protecting the building.
It's often the case, and people wonder, who can I go to? And I know of cases, because we do a lot of consultation and training, where I've said, well, go to HR, and they say HR is best friends with the bully. Yeah. So you've got to pick and choose. You got to know who's a bully, and it can be in any position. They even talk about bullying up, that employees can bully their managers sometimes if they're emotional and rude enough.
This book is coming out at such the perfect time because as we get closer and closer to November, those who volunteer their lives to be at that voting table, they're going to get bullied because, I mean, that just seems to be the walking way of this nation anymore.
It's definitely growing, and I think we're seeing that, politicians, celebrities, people that are supposed to be heroes turn out to really be bullies, and bullies pretend they're heroes. So it's confusing, and people want to defend and tolerate really bad behavior. And I think we'll see that, and I don't take positions on politicians and who's a bully and
right.
Who's not, but the atmosphere is definitely a bullying atmosphere, and it's scared a lot of people away from being election workers, which is sad. But then others are standing up. So it's a mixed thing as people become aware and realize you can speak up against bullying.
Yeah, you do. You give us that solution, and that's the one thing that I've always tried to put my energy in. What is the solution of this situation? I mean, you talk about resist, diffuse, repel.
Well, yeah, people have choices, and that's really important. But in my book, I talk about 6 strategies. First is recognize you're dealing with a bully, because people often don't see the patterns, and they get close to people. They get in relationships sometimes with bullies. Then pull the plug on the bully. Don't support them. A lot of times people go, well, I'm going to keep this quiet. I'm going to keep this secret. No, because bullies are harassing a lot of people. And if everybody keeps it secret, that's what feeds them. The third is really setting limits on them, saying, look, if you keep talking to me this way, I'm going to have to stop this conversation. Or even bigger limits like legal boundaries and such like that. And then imposing consequences. Okay, you kept talking to me like that, so I am ending this conversation. Call me when you're ready to be civil, something like that. And then educate others about these patterns, because I call these patterns as they're hidden in plain sight once you recognize what to look for. And then, of course, stand with others and support them. You can say, hey, Joe, that's enough. That's all you have to say as a bystander. Just, hey, Joe, that's enough to stop somebody. You don't have to have a major confrontation.
Yeah. You're going to think I'm weird, Bill, but I'll tell you what, when I go out into the forest with my dog and the way that she lurches at people and other things, I claim that she's a bully. I said, you got to stop being a bully because you do not own this piece of land. They have the right to be here. But I mean, aren't animals bullies as well?
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, that's kind of where this comes from. The research I did, I came upon, some research that said we share 7 emotional systems with all mammals, including our pets. And that's fear and rage. And those two especially, we're mirroring them. And yet we have to learn to live in the same space. They have instincts that they can't control.
Right.
We have instincts that we can control. And that's a lot of what this is all about.
Once again, this book is coming out at such a perfect time because it seems like the way the business world is running these days, it's no longer about having compassion for your employees. It's like, do as I say or get out. And to me, that's a form of bullying.
Absolutely. And that's not a management style that's sustainable. And if you research organizations, and I did that in preparing this book, some organizations are really good at protecting people and being responsible and encouraging respectful relationships. And other organizations are terrible, especially if the person at the top or the person over you is a bully. It can just make people's lives miserable, make them sick, make them depressed, make them want to leave. And a lot of good people leave organizations because of a few bullies.
How can we help bring peace to the neighborhood in the way that, or even to the business, in the way that we know where the bullies are, but we also need the motivators on the team to step up as well? They can't be just saying, I'm not getting into this mess. But the motivators have got to get that team going.
Yeah, I think it's being a role model of support for each other. It's encouraging the reasonable people. And what's interesting is bullies are maybe 5 to 10% of people at most.
Right.
Most people aren't like this. And so by pointing out and saying, look, when you make it personal, that's bullying, then people can be aware. They can see that and see, oh, that person's making it personal. And it's like, hey, Joe, you're getting personal. That's no good. Cut it out. And just teaching everyone. The organization that I'm co-founded, High Conflict Institute, we do a lot of workplace training and teach people how to respond to hostile comments in writing and also in person in conversations. And it's not hard to turn that around if you have a sense of confidence in yourself and a sense the organization supports you.
Do most bullies become bullies because they were bullied?
It really depends. What we see is most adult bullies were bullies as kids, and most kid bullies grow out of it by the time they're adults. 90%, most kids are bully somebody, maybe a sibling or a neighbor, but they get slapped in the face or they lose a friend and they go, ooh, I better not do that. But the people who are adult bullies seem to have started really either at birth or early childhood, where experiences, maybe they were terribly abused, or maybe they were terribly indulged and got away with everything they did, and parents laughed when they picked on other people. So a lot of it goes back to early childhood. Most people, if you're bullied today, don't then become a bully.
Yeah.
And most people go, I'm walking away, or I'm getting help with this situation.
Part of the solution, doesn't it start also with Hollywood in the way of stop making the bully look like the kid or the man that is funny and that or you dramatize it around the bully itself?
Absolutely. So our images today movies, the news, and of course social media, all of that, we look at the worst bullying behavior and laugh at it.
Yeah.
And go, oh, look at what happened last week. And and so that reinforces it. And then when they're in the office or something and somebody does bullying, people have like an awkward laugh because that's what they've been trained to do. And we really have to separate, real life and fiction, because real life bullying doesn't work. In fiction, hey, it's entertaining. Just remember the difference.
I think somebody who shows up to work consistently late is a bully. They don't care about what it's doing to the people around them. And I think that's bullying their emotions.
In a sense, it is, because what we see is that bullies tend to lack empathy, lack remorse, lack emotional self-control. And so you're right, they're indirectly, people might say that's passive-aggressive. Well, passive-aggressive is really aggressive. It really does offend people, hurts the team.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we have to recognize. This isn't good. This isn't something we can tolerate.
Wow. Bill, where can people go to find out more about what you're doing, your investment and your energy, so that they can learn more about it as well as give you some love?
Great. Well, our website is highconflictinstitute.com. It's www.highconflictinstitute.com. We have consultations, trainings, books, articles, all of this. But the new book, they can get anywhere. They can come to our website, order it through us, or get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and independent bookstores. So our new world of adult bullies, you're right, really is timely, because that's what the new world is becoming.
Absolutely. Please come back to this show anytime in the future, Bill. The door is always going to be open for you.
Well, fantastic. Thanks so much. Thanks for being so welcoming. I love it.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay, sir?
All right. You too.
Thank you.
Take care.